Hello, everyone. Thank you for being with us today. We are very pleased to welcome you, and we will today cover the future shifts in travel and expense management in 2023. So the agenda we will follow today, 3 points. The first one is to have a high-level overview of what will be the trends for next year, and how we can simplify the internal process thanks to a tool, and also see the challenges and opportunity of implementing such a solution. And at the end, we will also have the possibility to answer some questions you may have. So with me today, I'm very pleased to have a different guest speaker, and I will let them introduce themselves.
Hello, everyone. My name is David Rioux. I am a security and technology consultant in the pre-sales teams of SAP Concur France, and I am working at SAP Concur since 4 years now.
Hey, good day, everybody. My name is Rachid Ejdaâ. I am a partner manager for SAP Concur. I've been with Concur for almost 5 years now, operating out of the SAP office in Brussels.
Hello everyone, my name is Damien Morvan. I'm with ARAGO Consulting. So I'm working as a cloud solution specialist on SAP solutions and specialized in SAP Concur deployment, so trial and expense deployment for customers for 6 years.
Thank you, everyone. Christoph and Platen. I'm based in Geneva, and I have the pleasure of leading the business unit of Concur at ARAGO Consulting since 5 years. We are more than 20 consultants working dedicated to Concur to implement different size of customer for the solution SAP Concur. Thank you for being with us today. Rachid, you wanted to maybe give some highlights with regard to the trends of the travel and expense management software industry.
Absolutely. And first of all, thank you, ARAGO Consulting, for inviting me today. And maybe before kicking off, maybe just a few words about SAP Concur as a company, for those who are not too familiar with SAP Concur. Now, SAP Concur is SAP's cloud solution for travel and expense management. Actually, SAP Concur will celebrate its 30th birthday next year. It was founded in 1993 in Seattle and was acquired by SAP end of 2014, beginning of 2015. Now, during the course of our history, of course, we've developed and launched many innovations. Just to give you a couple of examples, not long after our foundation, we've launched our first credit card integration. In 1999, right before the millennium, we made our first steps to the cloud and offered Concur as a SaaS model. In 2008, we've launched Concur Mobile, which of course massively increased the user experience. Even during the COVID period, we kept innovating and launched products together with our partners, such as Concur Tax Assurance by Blue Dot, or Concur Detect by Oversight, or even Concur User Assistant by WalkMe. Now, this is just to underline that we're not only the market leader in the T&E space, but we're also perceived as the leading market innovator. Now, all these innovations led to a customer base of more than 49,000 customers, representing more than 58 million users in 150 countries. Now, if you look at the benefits and trends of T&E management, we see that today more than 60% of the companies have a T&E solution in place. However, almost 70% are considering using technology to improve efficiency. Hence, of course, the importance of innovating. In the past, we saw that companies were looking to transition from a manual process to an automated process where time savings and reducing processing costs were the major business outcomes. Today, macroeconomic and political factors are pushing companies to rethink and re-engineer their automation process when new challenges occur, such as sustainability. What about reducing our carbon footprint? What about reporting on emissions? Offering more sustainable alternatives for flights, greener hotels, etc. Or what about a new way of flexible working post-COVID, changing policies, new expense types that occurs? SAP Concur is there to help companies to adjust and align their new strategies to fit the new reality and become that intelligent, sustainable, and connected enterprise.
Thank you a lot, Rachid, for this information.
You're welcome.
Maybe to the next, to your point, you wanted to add maybe some numbers to how all these numbers are concreted with some numbers.
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
You wanted to highlight maybe with some numbers at the bottom of this slide.
Yeah, as you can see, of course, all those new challenges, and we see that sustainability. We see that companies are changing their policies to greener policies. We see that 40% are combining nearby trips. We see that more than 30% are looking to alternatives for air and travel, like I already said. Such as car, and of course rail is an important asset that's coming up in your policies, of course. Absolutely.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Okay, so as we say, we had some description about the tool, but I think in here what I wanted to explain is it's very important to focus on the tool, on the functionalities, but as I think as well, it's super important to keep in mind the end user and the employee experience, to have a really positive user experience. So since most of today organizations, they have too many technology platform or tool to learn, and you have less time to spend to learn all these tools. So it's a major part of increasing an employee satisfaction level. And is the ways to simplify the technology experience as well. So the goal is to better understand how your policy are impacting employee sentiment, safety, well-being, productivity, and attrition risk. By focusing on the needs and taking swift action to ensure your employee are set up for success, you can really begin to gathering the experimental data you need to start addressing and making even such adjustment in the issues. So there is a tendency in business to make things too complicated, maybe. While this isn't on purpose, simple business process can become even more complex. Okay, so by providing state-of-the-art system and tools for managing daily activity, such as managing travel and expense, for example, you can build a positive employee experience. And since this application can be used on the go, you can also ensure employee will be compliant with policy and procedures. Okay, so once you have incorporated the basic, your organization can start implementing best practices to increase employee satisfaction over time and ensure your employee are supported at work. So that's super important. So keep it simple. That's really the basic, but keep it simple and remove the guesswork. Okay, with automation, your organization can use built-in functionalities to remove unnecessary work. So drive compliance and automate workflow to reduce the time spent creating reports. So there is some example here below. A way to get started, but the first one is integrate travel and expense. Instead of having different tools, just having one single tool like SAP Concur is having it. It's avoid the risk to move from one solution to other one. To have everything end to end on one platform is really what we hear as a very positive for the end user. Okay, so you use audit rules and reason code to passively correct and control behaviors. Enable emails reminder to drive action in timely fashion and to just give advice and help them in evolution of the solution. Maybe can be also very welcome by the end user. Increase solution adoption through experimental learning. That's super important. End user, you have different group of end user. You have the assistant, you have the back office people, you do have the travelers. They have different needs. So to have this increase of adoption and learning for these dedicated groups of users is something we see as very important and appreciated when we propose these kind of services. On setup, maybe pre-authorized request to eliminate the need to maintain outside process, to not have to update every time your expense or your travel policy, but to have it already included in the tool is also something very, very appreciated for the end user. So that's some high-level presentation on not to just demonstrate that it's also very important to focus on the end user experience. Damien, I think you wanted to share some points.
Yes, thank you, Christoph and Rachid. So just I wanted to come back to the implementation part of a T&E solution like SAP Concur. So I just want to share with you, so from experiences, so I've been working in deploying T&E solution for the last 6 years, and just wanted to highlight some important topics when it comes to implementation and some tips. So basically, when deploying a T&E solution, what we can see is that coordination and project management is really key in the process. Why? Because this kind of project will involve a lot of different departments and persons in the organization. So basically, we have already multiple heterogeneous stakeholders when deploying this kind of solution. So, for example, within an organization, internal stakeholders will be finance, as soon as we are talking about expense reports. We'll have, of course, procurement, and maybe some organization have also travel managers when it comes to all the part of the travel, topics and purchases. We can also have, of course, IT, because we come back later to this point, but of course, we have also a lot of integration with other solutions. Time to time, we are also seeing HR people involving in this kind of project because we can manage some HR workflow for expenses or for travel. And of course, also a huge and important part regarding the change management. But in addition to that, really important to understand that we also have external stakeholders when it comes to a T&E solution. Of course, most of the time we have travel agencies providing the content to book the flights, the train, and so on. We can also have integration with the bank partners to have a credit card integrated to the solution. And of course, we also need to have to work with ERP. So just to say that speaking and coordinating all these stakeholders, internal and external stakeholders, will take and takes a lot of organization and project management. And so what we can see in projects most of the time for our customers, we need to dedicate a resource, internal project manager to conduct this kind of project, or at least a half-time project manager resource for the coordination part. Another topic I wanted to highlight is about arbitration and governance. Really important to have a clear definition of the role and responsibilities and to know who will be able to take important decisions. Most of the time, when we are deploying a T&E solution, it's for multiple entities or multiple countries. And as soon as we have multiple stakeholders involved in the organization, we know that it takes a strong sponsorship with people who can take decisions on the process to deploy this solution. When we have multiple countries, we are working with a core model approach, so meaning we've defined like 60 to 70% of the solution will be shared and the same for all countries and entities, and then we will just address the 30% remaining for the country specifics. But this takes a strong governance with committees, of course, to validate any decision and also to review during a committee any deviation from this core model. Really important. And this process, it must continue after the go live, as we notice that most of changes and change requests are coming after a go live from the entities and from the countries asking for some changes. And so this is why this process of arbitration and governance also must pursue after the go live. And the last part I wanted to highlight, something also we see a huge impact on the project is integration. So as I was saying at the beginning, T&E solutions are never standalone solutions, meaning you need to integrate them with your existing IT landscape. So most of the time we can see two main integrations. sorry for this, two main integrations. So the first one is about integrating employee data. Of course, we need to manage the employee account within the solution. So from a entity application solution or for HRIS solution. So we need to create the account to manage the data change, the termination of the account and so on. So we need to have a technical feed from this HR solution to the T&E solution. And the last one, and not the least, is the integration with the ERP. So as soon as we are managing expense report, expense management, of course, we need also to integrate this solution with the ERP. And most of the time, we have two technical feeds. So the first one is the master data replication from the ERP to the T&E solution. And the most important one is the financial posting from the T&E solution to the ERP. And so from experience, we can see that most of projects are being delayed due to the technical stream. So this is really important to be prepared on this stream, to have the correct resources and to have a clear definition of the landscape and the architecture we want to achieve to stay in line with the planning. And so to discuss furthermore on this integration topic, I will leave the end to David, who will extend those topics.
Thank you, Damien. We will now continue to speak about integration and more precisely about APIs, as there are a lot of exciting news regarding APIs and SAP Concur. So first, I would like to introduce our latest API, which is the User Provisioning Service. The new User Provisioning Service API makes it easier for customers to manage user accounts thanks to a centralized user provisioning service that supports spend and travel product. This new API, along with other services which have been developed in recent years, such as identity services, allow human resource and IT administrators to manage user profile and permission without manual intervention or verification, and to reuse their existing scheme services to provision profile data into Concur in real time. So this contributes to reduce the onboarding time and cost and ensures that your user data is always up to date between your different systems. The User Provisioning Service API will still evolve, and there will be some new enhancements in the coming months. For more information, you can access the documentation of the API on the SAP Concur Developer Center website, and you will find in this place also more information about all our web services. Now let's talk about the SAP Concur native integration. And we are talking about the SAP Concur native integration today because it also uses the Concur APIs under the covers. These native connectors provide a seamless integration between SAP ERPs and the SAP Concur platform. So the supported SAP ERPs are SAP ECC and SAP S/4HANA. So on one hand, the connectors allow to synchronize your master data, for example, the cost center information or the WBS object from the ERP to Concur. And on the other hand, it allows to retrieve automatically your approved expense reports from Concur and post them into the ERP along with their attachments if you choose to do so. The native integration also provides some nice features such as the payment confirmations sent to Concur and the possibility to modify an expense report after financial posting. So at the end, it brings a lot of benefits to your IT departments because there is no development to perform. You just install the add-ons and set up the integration on the ERP side. But it benefits also your accounting staff because it allows them to control the expense report posting process in an easy way, and it allows them to reduce risk introduced by manual operation. And last but not least, we will end this section with a short description of the SAP Concur App Center. So the SAP Concur App Centers connects you to partners, apps, and services that help you make the most of your T&E solution. It allows you to extend the value of the SAP Concur platform by providing access to more than 200 applications developed by our partners. And as you may guess, those applications are taking advantage of our APIs to exchange data with the SAP Concur platform. So those partners' applications will help you to optimize your process, for example, when dealing with risk and compliance, tax management, spend optimizations, traveler experience, and also sustainability. So if you want to know more, you can visit our concur.com website and go into the App Center section. And that concludes the integration part. Thank you very much. Over to you, Christoph, for the last words.
Thank you, David. Thank you, everyone. David, it's not completely finished for you. We just got one question.
Sure.
The question is SAP Concur native connector available for other SAP solutions like B1 or other HRIS solutions?
So as I was mentioning, the native connector is available for SAP ECC and SAP S4HANA systems. We also have a different version of the connector for the SAP Business by Design ERP systems. For the other ERPs, we propose our standard interface based on flat files or web service, for example.
Okay, thanks a lot, David, for the clarification.
You're welcome.
No other question for the time being. So to finalize, we will also share a slide with our contact detail. So first, yes, thank you for attending this webinar, and we remain at your entire disposal for any additional information. Should you have a need for additional information, we are with Rachid more than pleased to welcome and try to answer any questions. So with that, we wanted to thank you for being with us today, and we hope to hear from you soon and remain at your disposal. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.